Good morning. I hope you're doing well and welcome to today's market update. It's August 28, 2018 and it's about 9:20 a.m. in London when I'm recording this. My name is Alejandro Zambrano and I'm the Chief Market Analyst with Trade Captain and I'm an financial. We're going to take a look at the markets as we usually do at this time of the day and see what's going on with the euro, take a look at the pound as well, some of the other currencies, also commodities such as gold, crude oil, and the stock markets like the DAX as well. Bitcoin, of course, something we'll talk a bit about as well. Before we start, also I need to stress that trading financial markets, unfortunately, is risky as well. Don't forget to check out our content. Nathan is back from a short break, and Nathan and Harris are posting content throughout the day. And then you have Yuri as well that shares a few setups every day, and myself as well upload content. As you know, I was away for some time off, enjoying the beach in the summer here in Europe, and I'm back now. So expect content over the next few weeks here. So no time off for me until I guess October or something like that. All right, guys, let's begin, and we'll begin with the euro. So I've done a few videos for you lately, and in one of the videos I said that in the short term the trend was bullish. I think we were looking at the level like down here somewhere, in essence saying that the market could potentially trade to the upside, take out 116.29 and potentially head higher and reach 117. We touched 117 this morning, and going forward I still think we're going to see probably slightly higher euro. I guess the dollar in general is under pressure. Now the biggest challenge with buying here is that we're relatively close to this high here, which is the July 9 high, and then you have another high here, which is the July 31st high. You can see that this whole section here, which also continues up here, should limit price. People sold here in June, and then July, and then by the end of the July. So what's going to stop them from selling again? Most likely we'll head up a bit and then probably down, and then maybe we'll go back trading sideways, and then we'll have either a bullish or a bearish breakout. That's what I would be betting on. But if you are scalping, if that's your cup of tea, then you might have another 1 or 2 more days of bullish price action. And I wouldn't be buying here, because we said you could, if you wanted to buy here, or buy on the breakout, right? I wouldn't be buying here because of the risk reward ratio. So if you are looking to get involved again, then maybe a test of the August 8 high here, so maybe down, and then maybe look at the buy here, then target these levels again could be better. For now, the short-term trend will remain bullish as long as you trade above 115.27. Here's the pound. The market here is one of those markets I had a strong view on, well, not a strong view on, but a view on that this could potentially continue to trade to the upside. I can't necessarily remember if I actually shared this setup with you, but I did share it for a set of clients, and the idea was just to buy here because I thought this had a bit more to correct, and so far it's proven correct. So traders that did buy here probably reduced their stop losses to 127.92 from having them initially at 27.23. This market is heading to the upside, and the original idea was to book profits around 29.24. It's still early in the day, so let's see what happens if it goes up here. I think again we can book profits, but if it does not want to trade much higher, then maybe it could be wise to take a step back. I think in general, if we trade to 130 in the next few days, then that would not surprise me. Traders that are not already long will probably be better off looking for a correction, maybe down to 28.46 or something like that, 28.45. So the risk about 55 pip, that will give you 45 pip risk or so, 55, yes, head to the upside, maybe 83, head to 130, maybe 165. Now, there's a challenge with this market, and a good reason why I'm not trading this. And the reason for that is because we're dealing with a counter trend. this is overall bearish market, and we're dealing with a counter trend. And you know, maybe we'll do like this, just peak and then just tumble and continue to the downside. So we'll do the same, just head to the upside. I find that though very unlikely. So I think it's going to be a bit of a mess in the next few days, weeks. And then when we start to clear some major levels, in other words, when we start to trade maybe above 33, that could be interesting. But most likely up, down, up, spend a month or two here, then down, and then potentially bullish on that break. Well, we added, this is the dollar yen. Dollar yen is a bit problematic, to be honest. Trading sideways between 109.34 and 111.50. Take out this level, we could potentially head a little bit higher. We are seeing higher, stronger stock markets across the world, well, particularly in the US, and new all-time highs, and that could potentially again sort of lift this. But I'm not really trading this. In fact, I'm not holding any single FX position. Instead, I'm long the Russell 2000, which we talked about here. You know, we talked about the break to the high at 1710. I'm still holding on to that one. It's going in the right direction, and hopefully we'll trade to 1792, which is my target. I'm also long the South African stock market. First time ever trading it, but I'm not afraid of trading new markets. So you see here how the market breached to the upside here, right? Boom, strong push. I bought here on the breakout before the day was over. I was up in a bit of profit, and then yesterday I think it was 1.5% return, and now it continues to move to the upside. And I think this is something that could potentially touch its all-time highs. I traded a lot of these emerging, not a lot, but I traded also the Indian stock market not so long time ago on these strong moves. So stock markets is really where the action is, and it's not, unfortunately, not in things like the German DAX. Okay, the German DAX, if you look at this market, has been trading sideways since July last year. So it's quite a boring market, and we did trade above the July 20th low, and we could potentially be targeting that August high at 12,762. But because of the big choppy conditions here, I would not touch this. But if you insist and you really want to scalp it, then you have a bit of a bullish bias above this low here. This is a low here from the 24th of August. And you know, maybe we'll trade a little bit lower and then push a little bit higher. But again, when you're dealing with this sort of choppy conditions, it's not really interesting. Instead, you know, why not focus something like on the NASDAQ? I did publish a setup on the NASDAQ. If you look at technical analysis, you'll find that, or if you scroll all the way down and you click on TC authors, you can find my contents, or you can just search. It should be under news, stock markets, and here should be. And let me see if I can find it. Here we go. The idea was to buy here, and I think this can, on the break here of 7,506 on a setup or something I shared on Thursday last week, I think this market could head to the upside. So this I prefer, you know, let it come back to maybe support and look for this to head to the upside. So in general, I'm bullish. I think the Nasdaq can go up along the Russell 2000, which I also think can go up. Looking as well at the, well, I'm not looking to trade, but you have things like the Dow Jones Industrial Average as well, which are clearly bullish. We talked about this in the past, and the trend is bullish here above the August 23rd low, and it might come down a bit, maybe to the high here from August 21st. So have a bit of a pullback. But if this market is trading at its all-time high again, then that would not surprise me at all. I think we are heading to the upside, and this could be viewed as head and shoulders, head, left, right shoulder, with the break to the neckline. projecting a target up here somewhere, pretty much where I had it before, so somewhere here. So definitely bullish. Don't want to be buying at the highs, don't want to buy on those dips. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin had some interesting, little bit of a push. Bitcoin, this is a daily chart. You have a low here from February, another low from June, and then you have another low from August. And then you have a downtrend coming down, trend line coming down like that. And what happened here in the short term is that we had that head and shoulders, which I also think we mentioned in a webinar or a video, and that actually failed that initial push. But you can see now how the market has established itself above 66.39, which is a breakout, following a breakout here on August 24th. And as long as you trade above that August 24th low at 64.43, I think we're probably going to head to the upside. We see it moved up and then tried to move back down to the range, but failed. I think this could head to the upside, and I think this could, you know, if it would go down, I'm not sure, I don't think it's going to do that, but if it would go down a little bit, and I think we can move up higher. The original sort of head and shoulders pattern was head, left, right shoulder, and this was the break, and this was the target. And technically, you can see that this is a low, and you can see that even though this is the initial head and shoulders, it went all the way up and then went all the way down. You see, it never traded below that low. It never traded below the low. So technically, the trend was tested, but the trend never turned bearish. So this move here is in place. So, and I think it's what we're looking at, a convergence between, or the price moving higher, testing this, not necessarily the actual high, but definitely moving to the upside. So Bitcoin, I think this is bullish. You know, we moved up, established ourselves above 66.39, and yeah, could go down a little bit, but eventually drift up to 74.18, maybe 7,800. And then we would need to see a lot of the other coins are bouncing back after having crazy losses, but we're dealing with a downtrend. Like this is Ethereum, which is in a downtrend, literally back at levels seen here since October, September last year. In fact, we saw these levels already in June last year. And you know, you have Ripple, which is again is in a strong downtrend, and in essence also back at levels seen in May last year. So this is not a bull trend. All of these markets, not all, but many of them are bearish. And with that in mind, as I mentioned some time ago, I don't think that Bitcoin is going to take out the high. I could be wrong, but I don't think the time to sort of go long and see those meteoric rises again, I don't think it's gonna happen just yet. Now, what we didn't cover was commodity markets. So this is gold, and gold, it's not too much different to what you can see in something like the euro or the pound. You're dealing with an uptrend in the short term. In the bigger picture, you still have that downtrend without a doubt, but we need to be clever and sort of know when to give up. And as you might remember, I was bearish up until this point. I think it was 1190. After that, the price took out that high here, and I abandoned my bearish view. Since then, the market moved down and then moved up, and it looks to me that it's targeting the stops at the August 10 high, and maybe the potentially trade to July to the July 26 high. Now, buying here right now does not make any sense unless you're like a short-term scalper. Obviously, I think it's going to go to the upside, but if you look at it from a bigger picture, you know, you have a stop down here. So that would be your risk if you buy now. So that would be a 2.6% risk to hopefully make maybe 1.75. So I don't like this at all. I think if this swings to the downside, maybe down here, it could potentially be interesting to buy. And then look for this to head to the upside. This is crude oil, and crude oil is right now, I mean, moved all the way up, took out that high, so sort of ended that short-term bearish bias to it. You have seen even a stronger reaction in Brent crude, but moved up, But I think if you look at this from a bigger picture, you know, the market was trading at around April 19th. I was trading around these levels in April 19th. So there's not a strong trend here to work with. You have some good resistance here. So I think if this would, you know, swing down to 67 and then just fizzle out here, the momentum, and you trade sideways here, that would not surprise me. I think we're gonna head into more consolidation before having any strong reaction in the markets. And that's pretty much it. So we covered a few good currencies. We covered the situation in stock markets, and particularly US stock markets, which I like a lot. And we talked about crude, and we talked about gold, and we talked a bit about the DAX. So now you know a little bit more, and you know the action is in stock markets right now. And I might come back later and you'll see some more stuff in Forex, but not right now. So yes, so gold we covered, and again I think it can continue to move to the upside slightly, and I wouldn't be buying right now because risk reward ratio, but no, there's no right or wrong. Like, I took a few losses last week as well, you know, shorting Australian dollar versus the Canadian dollar and the New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc, and you know, in hindsight I should have kept them. I probably would have come out okay, but because I shorted down here, I got too greedy, and then I actually closed out just before I hit the stop. Let's see, NCT versus the Swiss C. This one, you know, I would have been up now. New Zealand dollar versus Swiss franc. I shorted here somewhere here, I think at 50. Yeah, where we are more or less, and stop up here. But moved against me. I had just too much risk on, so I had to get rid of that. And sometimes it's like that. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say in regards to gold is that, you know, if you were bearish and you're in trouble, or any position for that matter, nothing wrong with taking a loss. And in fact, you should try to keep it small. And you should, however, avoid what I did, which is, you know, let's go out. I mean, it's fine to go out before you hit your stop loss. Sometimes your gut feeling tells you that this is wrong, and you out, and then you're proven wrong. But most of the time, I keep my positions until I get stopped out. What I did differently here, though, is that I was short with 1.5% risk on, I think, New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss C, so this one, and then I was short 2% on Aussie dollar CAD. So total risk of about 3.5, and that's a little bit too much for me. So I decided to bail and close it out at 3.5% loss instead of, sorry, 2.5 instead of 3, 2.4 to be exact. In the case of you know, the South African position and the Russell 2000, I think I'm up with about 5%. So that's really what you want to do. I'm up with about 5% on those two other positions, and so overall I'm ahead with 2.5%. And I've been able to reduce my risk on both of these. So obviously, if I get stopped out, it's not going to be too fun. But if they hit their targets, you know, they're going to do very well to compensate any of these mistakes I did just recently here. And it's always like that, unfortunately. Okay, I don't think we have any more questions. So no more questions, so we're going to wrap things up. Guys, don't forget to click on the video here to hit the like button. It's really important if you like it to support. As well, don't forget to follow us on Trade Captain. So this is our Trade Captain Twitter and Trade CPT. Here you'll see all the updates from the guys and also myself. It's always good, you know, you keep track. You don't necessarily have to read the outlook, but you can look at the chart. This is the daily chart on Ripple. You know, that might, you know, pique your interest. You know, if you like it, you can check it out. Gives you a little bit of idea. It's always good to check and see if there's any interesting ideas to trade, and if you like the article, of course, you read them. You have the morning outlook, which is good, provides you a general overview, what's going to happen and what may happen. Then you have the market wrap as well, and then if you want to follow my setup specifically, then this is my Twitter, AlexFX00. Have a great day, guys, and thanks so much for watching. Thank you.